Welcome to The Rant. I'm your host, Baeth Davis. It's time to get fired up about, pissed off about, and ready to do something about getting paid for your brilliance rather than going through the motions. Each week, join me for some rant and conversation with experts from many industries where we will reveal how to do the work you are designed to do rather than what you think you should do. Welcome, everyone. This is Baeth Davis, and you're listening to The Rant. My guest today helps people eliminate their allergies, among other things. Fact is, many of you might be allergic to your own life, and Ellen is an advocate for you creating a life that is allergy-free, where you're experiencing joy and happiness and freedom. Her name is Ellen Lee, and she's the CEO or Chief Energy Optimizer at theellenlee.com. She's an energy healer, certified law of attraction coach, psychic author, and improv comedian. Ellen uses her intuition and proprietary healing method, quote, clear Lee healing, unquote, to provide life-changing healing and transformation to clear out emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual issues with allergy clearings, chakra clearings, clearing traumas and dramas from this and other lifetimes, and much more. Ellen quickly and efficiently hones into what is most beneficial to help you be clear and cleared so that you can have a more easy, fun, and fulfilled life. Welcome to The Rant, Ellen Lee.
Thank you, Baeth. It's so exciting to be here.
I'm really happy to have you here. My first question for you is, how'd you get into improv comedy?
Actually, this was back in 1999, and I was just recently got a gig as a defensive driving instructor. And the defensive driving owner, he was doing improv comedy. So I was like, well, I had never taken improv. I had taken acting classes and things like that in high school and college, but I had never heard of improv. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll take an improv class to help with my teaching of the defensive driving. And then I took the improv and then kind of dumped the defensive driving because that wasn't as fun. And I've been doing improv ever since.
Oh, wow. That's just great. That is great. I love improv. It's really a good time, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I love it because for me, unlike acting where you're just one person and following a script, with improv, I can be like 50 billion people, all different characters, voices and things like that. And I don't have to memorize lines. That's a really big plus too.
Yeah, it is. It's such a spontaneous art form.
Absolutely.
What would you like to rant about today?
Oh, well, I think people are suffering too much in the world, and you have seen, I'm sure, in the news and everything else, where everyone just seems all up in arms and everything's coming up. And I think what people don't realize is everything's coming up now, in the news, in society, it's coming up to be released. And let people know that hope is coming, or there is hope. Better times are coming. And I think that people need to be reminded about that and know about that too.
Yeah, so when you say better times are coming, what does that mean to you?
Well, to me, right now, we're transitioning from a 3D world to more of a 5D world. And 5D, all this duality that exists in the 3D is going to be gone or eliminated, and we're moving and shifting into that. So everything that was, in the dark, that's no longer serving us, is just coming up to be released. And that includes on the individual level, you may be having physical symptoms, physical ailments, things like that, emotional traumas and dramas. On the collective level, there's a lot of things happening politically, geopolitically. So there's a lot of junk coming up to be released, and it's opening everyone's eyes and awakening them. So that's a good thing in the sense that we are awakening. It's just very traumatic for a lot of people, especially ones that aren't connected into people that know about that know that it's because of this shift where we're moving into a better place, a better world.
Yes, we definitely are. I mean, I am the happiest I've ever been. Uh,
Yes, that's so cool.
yeah, I am empowered even more so to listen inward rather than give my power away to the drama on the outside. And I agree with you. There is a big shift coming, a big, big shift. And for people who are willing to be more creatively expressive and more community oriented and more involved, it's a very good time coming up. This isolated, compartmentalized way we've been living is coming to an end.
Exactly.
It's not sustainable, and it is crumbling as we are seeing. You are an expert in clearing allergies. How did you find that specialty?
Well, actually, I learned it originally from watching a video, and I tried it and it worked. But then more mastery over, I totally changed from what I do from that original video. So originally, like I was allergic to sunscreen, and like anytime I would touch sunscreen or come in contact with sunscreen, I would get a rash. So, and I live in Texas, so in the summertime, I had to wear long sleeves and be careful touching people because I would get a rash if they touched me and they had sunscreen on. Well, I knew that there was a way to clear that. And I finally found it, with the energy healing. Because allergies can be caused by emotional traumas and dramas. And I finally realized that my sunscreen allergy was actually related to an emotional upset of when my mom had breast cancer. So I was able to, figure that out and then clear it. And now, I mean, I've cleared a lot of food allergies, airborne allergies, past life allergies, other life allergies, alternate life allergies. So there's a lot of different things that someone can be allergic to. And like you said earlier, you can be allergic to your life. And and it's probably because of an emotional thing there. So there are lots of
Yes.
things.
Research, and I keep reading this over and over of late. Research conclusively, worldwide scientific research indicates that fully 80% of our ailments are from repressed emotional memory and basically repressed feelings. And then the other 20% is you might be exposed to radiation or some other unfortunate thing that affects the entire village. But
Right.
80% of what drags people down, acute illnesses, chronic illnesses, things like allergies, even things as extreme as cancer, are brought on by repressed emotions. And I'm curious, what are some of the most common patterns you've seen with your women entrepreneur clients? Where are they holding the most emotion, and what kind of problems do you see as a result?
I've seen a lot of food allergies, and food is sustenance. It's what you need to sustain your life. And in that sense, they're rejecting, some parts of their life. Their nutrition, whether it be, and it can be allergic to something that's, quote, healthy, like strawberries. That's usually considered very healthy for people, but that can cause allergies. So there's something in their life, either that brought up a memory, a trauma in this lifetime, some other lifetime, that for some reason they're resisting to it. And when that's cleared, the resistance, then it just disappears like that, and it's totally gone.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. My father now lives in Oklahoma City, but he used to live in Texas, and he actually found someone that does what you do. I don't even know if that person's still alive, actually. But he had a lot of allergies, and he went to this woman, and he hasn't had allergies since.
Cool.
I'm like, Dad, what's her name? What's her number? He's like, I don't remember. But now we have you. See? So, here you are, Alan Lee. So I know that it works because I saw it happen with my father, and he's 75. He's going to be 76 in December. He's maybe only been sick 2 days in his life that I've ever seen with a mild cold. He's robust. He's good natured. Cool. And he said to me, the key to my health is I refuse to stress. And he is
Yes.
a non-stressed human. I mean, nothing really gets to him. I mean, I'm sure there's a few things, but for the most part, he just goes with the flow.
And that's how we all need to strive to be, really just going with the flow.
Yes.
It makes life so much easier.
It really, really does. And now I have a question for you about the political climate. I don't want to get into politics per se, but more the behavior that I'm noticing. I've noticed this both with conservative friends of mine, and half my family's voted conservative, right? And
Sure.
super liberal, way out on the fringe Green Party friends of mine. I like to have a mix. I'm open to all points of view. It just needs to make sense to me. A lot of what people say doesn't make sense to me. What I've noticed is this outpouring of indignation, disgust, rage. And from where I sit, it looks like people are simply frustrated and they're misdirecting it. But I'm wondering what you think about it.
It definitely is. Everyone's frustrated because they're not taking their own power.
Right,
too.
right.
So that's one thing. Well, you can't control politics or what the politicians do. So let's just complain about it and put our power there and kind of pretend like we're taking our power by being so, frustrated and about this topic and things like that. So I think that's one cause of it. Because they're so frustrated with their own lives that they can't control because they're not willing to control it, that they're just taking it out in those things. I mean, if that's one thing that I hate about politics is it's so decisive because that's the way it's supposed to be. Whereas, instead of focusing on, hey, I'm liberal, hey, I'm conservative, why don't you focus on all the things that you can do and like the issues that are common to everyone? That's really what's important. We need to work together to fix things. Stop fighting amongst yourselves and let's get together, work things out, and stop being stupid about that.
Yeah, well, it's really 3D still, isn't it? We have people running in a race. They're competing with one another. May the best contender win the most votes. And we know that whole system's skewed anyways, because of the gerrymandering and, the money and the behind the closed doors deals that people are making. So Michael, I'm really lit up about this. So tell us, how might, say, the political landscape look in a 5D world? Tell us about this 5D world and how ideally would we choose our leaders? Because we know we need leadership. We need people to be in charge of things. What does it look like in a 5D world?
I think in the 5D world, to me, it seems like it would be more leaders, a lot more leaders than just one president or, of a country. It would be smaller, like maybe probably like back then in the olden days when you had community tribes and you had one elder or a group of elders. They're like the cabinets or whatever. And then one main person. And you have a bunch of that instead of having just one large president that that is in control, or prime minister, whatever, depending on the country. So it could it'd be more decentralized in a lot of ways because each state or however, each community would have their own little functions and take care of each other.
Yes. Well, that's great because, I just did a Facebook Live on this very topic the other day, and you're saying almost verbatim what I was sharing.
I need to watch it.
Yeah. Well, what's really cool is after I shared it, one of my friends sent me a video of this beautiful couple in Puerto Rico that got no support. So they banded together and they rebuilt the neighborhood. And we're feeding 350 people a day for 3 months through food donations and all their own efforts. And basically what I was sharing, because of this big shift, is the decentralization is crumbling and it's not coming back. So I've tried to encourage my angry friends to let it go because it's not coming back. We're not going to have universal health care or any of that. Like, it's not coming back. It's going to very much come down to, like you said, these smaller, decentralized communities working together. So it's almost as if the minute my brain understood this, now it's coming up everywhere. And you're saying something similar.
Oh, that's funny. Well, synchronicity.
Yeah, just in the past week.
Yeah, it's being seeded into the collective consciousness.
Yes, and then I've mentioned it to clients, and they're saying to me, oh, well, I haven't mentioned this to you, but that's really my long-range plan is I want to help support intentional communities. I'm like, whoa. So I think many of us are aware of it, and it's conversations like we're having that get it out into the collective, right? Get out into collective consciousness. Someone used the word grok today, which I haven't heard in a long, long time. It was Heinlein, the science writer, I think came up with the word grok. But you and I speaking of it will help the listeners grok it, and then they'll start to hear the conversation and can contribute to it. And I think it's really important so that we're prepared.
Absolutely.
Hey there, Rant listeners. If you consider yourself a renegade, innovative, creative entrepreneur whose genius is consistently going unrecognized by clients who don't appreciate what you do or seem unwilling to pay the fair price for the amazing transformation you provide, I have a solution for you. Our upcoming event, the Life Purpose Summit, is designed to help you get out of your spiritual crisis of career so you can experience voice, visibility, and legacy by making great money, making a great impact. You'll also leave the event with your special Money Matrix, which is a design plan from your hands and your human design that will show you how you specifically manage the fear of your clients, speak to that fear, optimize that fear, help them heal that fear, and help them transform as well. So if this interests you, please go to lifepurposesummit.com and register while you still can. There's only 125 spots. And then we are sold out. Our last event sold out in 30 days, and I suspect this one will be no different. Please join us, lifepurposesummit.com. It's happening in Los Angeles, October the 25th through the 27th at the Westin LAX. I hope to see you there and help you get out of your spiritual crisis of career.
This is a lot more interesting conversation than, hey, how's the weather over there? That kind of thing. To me, I'd rather talk about this kind of thing.
How is the weather? Oh, yeah. How is the weather in Texas?
It's hot. It's hot.
Oh, all right. So share with us a story about a client that's come to you who's really suffering. Where were they? What were they suffering with? And then how did you help them?
Well, the very first person that I helped allergies with, she was suffering from allergy to jalapenos and coconuts. And if you took a little strand of coconut hair and touched her with it, she would welt up.
Wow.
And, yeah, very dangerous allergy. And I cleared her, and she immediately later on just ate some almond joy or coconut, whatever that coconut one is, and she had no reaction whatsoever. There's been other clients that, one other client, she had food allergies for over 25 years. I think it was tomatoes. And she had a long list of different allergies. And I would just go through and check which ones she actually was allergic to. And some are total allergies, some are sensitivities. So I kind of think of it as a scale of not allergic to a full-blown, deathly allergic. So somewhere along that scale. So some were, more sensitive, some were actual allergies. And I would test to see, okay, is that something that can be cleared at that time? Because just because you're allergic to something doesn't mean that it can be cleared out right then. Sometimes there are multiple layers that need to be cleared out. And so it might come back, but usually once I clear it, it's usually gone.
In the case of the person with the coconut allergy, did you determine why she had that allergy? Had she suffered some kind of trauma and then it was somehow related to coconuts?
Actually, I never dug into that because she was the first one. She was almost like an experiment to see if it would work. But yeah, I didn't really dig in. But she was she's Mexican, and so she was also allergic to jalapenos, which in a sense she was kind of rejecting her heritage in that sense. So there's a lot of different ways that that things are connected, and unless you dive in deeper, and sometimes I do, but a lot of times I'm just like, hey, just get it out, clear it, bing bang boom, done.
They don't even need to know why.
Exactly. I mean, if they want to know why, we can dig a little further. But hey, why? Sometimes you don't need to know, and that's one thing. I will check sometimes to see, okay, do we need to know more about this? Because sometimes we have to know more before it will clear.
Yes. Now,
So it's really interesting.
tell us about chakra clearing. First of all, what are chakras and how do you clear them? It's kind of a running joke towards us spiritual folks, right? Us clearing our chakras. I happen to know it's very effective, but will you share with the audience what chakras are and how you go about clearing them and why this is important?
Well, the chakras are your energy centers, and there are 7 main ones, but there are actually a lot more than that. I just kind of focus on the 7 that most people know about, and they run along your spine. So there's like the root chakra, sacral chakra, power chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and your crown chakra. And each chakra relates to different issues in your life. So if you're having relationship issues, it could be because your sacral chakra or your heart chakra is not as strong as the other chakras.
Mm-hmm.
If something is really strong, sometimes like I think my power chakra may be overly too strong because I have such high self-esteem sort of thing. So you go in the other direction. So the main thing about chakras is you want them balanced. And just like in life, you want things more in balance. You don't want too much of something and you don't want to be depleted of it.
Mm.
And depending on what is up with the chakra, it could also relate to physical ailments too and cause physical ailments. So maybe if your third eye chakra, maybe if it's blocked a lot, you may get headaches because it's in your forehead area. So there are a lot of different ways that chakras can relate to your life.
Oh, that's really cool. I appreciate you explaining that. You happen to have a very open third eye. Mm-hmm. Yes, very open third eye, quite intuitive. If you were to scan the environment right now of our listeners, what message would you give to them about their lives?
The power chakra popped up. That was the first thing. Like, be in your power. Stop being small. Be yourself, and so that others can be themselves too.
Yeah. I love that. Be yourself so others can be themselves too. I don't know that humans as a group have really grasped what it means to take their power back.
No. Well, because we've lived and grown up in an enslaved environment, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, we are all technically slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't know about it yet.
Right. And then they wake up from it and they can begin to make changes.
And that's why there's a lot of frustration, too. Some people are waking up to it, and that's why they're frustrated.
Yeah. They're frustrated. Why do you think they're frustrated? Are they frustrated because they don't know what to do? Are they frustrated that they haven't done something sooner? Why do you think they're frustrated?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination. Some people, it's like, well, I can't believe, that they've been doing this to us for so long, all our lives.
Right.
Yeah, we just didn't know. And some people are like, well, I'm just one person. I can't do anything. And that's so wrong. That's so wrong. We all can do and contribute in some way. We may not know what that way is yet, but we are all important, and that's why we're born. I mean, there was a reason you're here, not just to be, frustrated and not happy. There is a reason you're here, to help society, to help family, to help something, planet Earth, this dimension. So there was a reason you were born, because, you beat out all these other millions of sperms or whatever.
Right.
So obviously you're important.
Apparently it's 1 in 400 trillion our chances of being here on Earth
there
right
you
now.
Go. See, even more so than I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. All right. So if someone wanted to work with you, how can they get in touch with you, and where would you have them start if they're dealing with allergies or other blockages?
Well, they can go to my website at www.theellenlee.com, and the stands for trainer, healer, and entertainer, because those are things that I do. And they can contact me through that, and I'd love to, just chat with them to discuss, chat to see if, okay, we're the good fit for each other, because sometimes we're not a good fit. And that's an important thing. We need to figure out if it's a good fit to work with each other, and if I can help you. I mean, if I can't help you, I will find somebody else that might be able to help you, or, suggest other alternatives, because, I mean, we have to collaborate with each other and work together. I mean, I can't help everybody, so I will help you as much as I can, in either, working with me or finding somebody to work with to help you.
Fantastic. All right, anyone listening, you can go to the Ellen Lee, that's TheEllenLee.com, just like it sounds, the Ellen Lee. Trainer, healer, entertainer. I love that. TheEllenLee.com, and she offers a free strategy session to assess whether or not she can support you in clearing out those allergies and chakra blocks and other traumas and dramas that may be slowing down the access to your purpose and your full, fun, easy, fulfilled life. Ellen, any closing words of wisdom for our listeners?
Know that better things are coming, that you are important, and have fun. I mean, I think everybody needs to have a lot more fun in their life.
I agree. People don't have a lot of fun, as a rule, I've noticed.
Exactly. It's like, why are you here then? Why? No, let's have some fun.
That's right. Let's have some fun. I had to teach myself how to have fun, and I've gotten almost too good at it now.
No, that's not true. You can never be too good at that. Keep doing it. Yes, go Baeth.
Yes, it's really great. It's really great. Well, I hear about the overwhelmed entrepreneurs and the stressed out entrepreneurs, and I think, I used to be like that, but then I took my power back, so I'm in charge. I will not be pushed around. I will not be manipulated by other people's agendas. I will not be pressured. It's not worth it.
Yeah, you are such a great role model for that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I had a really intense healing crisis because I was living incorrectly. I was in a dysfunctional relationship that was sucking the life out of me and cost me... Literally, yeah. I was like getting milked, as they say, and it was expensive physically, emotionally, and financially, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. However, it's become my teacher from the standpoint of, no, we don't stress. We stay calm because I like being healthy. And right. I know the other way, and there's no payoff in it. There's no point making a bunch of money and having a bunch of worldly success if you're dead. And I know just last week one of my friends died. My age, horrible cancer, just ravaged her body. And she was one of these people always giving to other people. Right? She came last. I know why she died. She wasn't asking me. But I remember years before saying, you're going to get really sick if you don't cut this out.
Well, it's like they suggest on the airplanes. You always put the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping others.
That's right.
Yeah, if you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else if you're gone or sick.
So true. Well, Ellen, it is such a pleasure connecting with you. You're very wise.
As you.
Oh, thank you. And we'll have to have you back on the show. And be sure and let us know when you're doing your next improv comedy show.
Yeah, I will. Definitely.
Put out the word, at least to the local folks. They can come by and see you.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks.
Thanks again. All right, everyone. This has been another episode of The Rant. Please make a note on your calendar. The Life Purpose Summit is coming up October the 25th through the 27th in Los Angeles, California, and we are going to identify your money matrix from your human design chart. That's right, how you make money. And then using your voice, your visibility, and your legacy to make a lasting impact in the world and to live the life that you know you're here to live. So if you're ready to summit that next peak, we hope to see you there. You can just go to lifepurposesummit.com to find out more. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Rant. If you did, please go to Baeth.com and join the conversation about the show at my blog. While at Baeth.com, you can access free tips and rich content to get paid for your gifts. That's Baeth.com. See you next time.